Hey folks, welcome to another episode of SwillinGrog's Wonderful World of Beer. Today we'll be looking at Indio, 4.5% alcohol by volume, brewed and bottled by Cervecería Cuauhtémoc, Moctezuma in Monterrey, Mexico. Now interestingly, Indio is an Oktoberfest beer, or Märzen, which is one of my favourite styles. So as you could imagine, I'm most keen to check it out and give it a review. Now I must thank Mark from Warner's at the Bay for getting this brew for me. It's usually one of those Mexican brews that you can only find in Mexican restaurants here in Australia. Well, Mexican restaurants that have a good selection of Mexican beers on their drinks menu. But anyhow, enough of babbling from me. I think it's time to crack open this lovely 355ml brown bottle of Indio and make an assessment of it. So let's use the trusty BB Barfly bottle opener to do that. And not seeing any smoke, but I'll give it a pour into this lovely mug here and we'll make an assessment of it. Okay, just pouring it right down the middle. Okay, doing it Jez Lawson style. Alright, okay, so let's make an assessment of the appearance, as we always do. Well, yeah, the appearance is a relatively clear, brown, coppery colour. Yeah, I guess on the camera it looks a little bit more kind of amber, dark amber, but yeah. Well, I suppose when I hold it up to light it's more sort of amber, but I would say more kind of, yeah, dark brown, coppery colour, but yeah, it does look awful good. And I think when I poured it there was about bang on 2 fingers of beige head there that yeah, looks quite frothy and appealing. So but yeah, sadly dissipating rather quickly. It's gone from 1 to 2 fingers quite quickly. Alright, so we've talked about the appearance, and now it's time to talk about the aroma. Alright, well, what I'm picking up is a faint smell of caramel, which is not surprising because this brew uses caramel malts, and a smell that's somewhat reminiscent of freshly baked bread. So yeah, what could be more appealing than that? A nice loaf of freshly baked bread. Anyway, so we've talked about the appearance and the aroma, so that could only mean that it's time for the most important part of the review, the taste test. So, cheers to you all. Proust. Let's dive in. Wow. Well, the taste, as you could imagine, really does follow the nose. It's very malt forward. You're getting those delicious caramel malts, up front. There's a nice, breadiness to this as well. The bitterness is very minimal, but it's there. There's a definite, bitterness there that's, noticeable, more so in the finish than anything. But, all in all, it balances out very nicely. It's, just a very, refreshing brew. That's, yeah, undoubtedly, going to be, very drinkable and, very sessionable at, 4.5% ABV. But I must have another gulp. This is just an absolutely delicious brew. Wow. Well, it really is holding that taste profile. For me, it's just a delight to be, drinking this. But, I'm very partial to it because it is, one of my, favourite, beer styles after all. But I tell you what, folks, it's a real shame, particularly in Australia, that this is, so hard to come by because, yeah, it's just so much better than Corona or Sol or, any of those other Mexican beers that, folks here would be, more familiar with. I'd love to see, it, widely distributed here for a, reasonable price. yeah, but anyway, yeah, what more can I say about it? Well, I've already said that it's, you know, very drinkable and very sessionable, and yeah, this is going to really hit the spot, you know, in the summer months, even, you know, in the springtime now. Yeah, but I really can't fault this flavour-wise. You know, there's nothing offensive about it, you know, at all. It's just an absolutely delicious beer. Anyway, I think it's high time that I wrapped this up. So one last gulp and I'll give it a score out of 10. Alright, well, as you can probably tell, I'm really impressed with this beer. It's got to be one of the best Mexican brews out there, period. What would I give it in terms of a score out of 10? I'd be happy to give Indio a 9.5 out of 10. It's a really solid brew. Alright, so if you can get your hands on it, definitely check it out. It's going to be well worth your while. And thanks for joining me once again for another episode of SwillinGrog's Wonderful World of Beer. I'm going to kick back and enjoy the rest of this Indio. Then I've got another Mexican beer review coming up for you very soon. Fare thee well, all.